Sandra Valukas, 10,004 Highgate Circle. Here we are 2 years later talking about extending Dr. McIntyre's contract again. Unfortunately, there has been very little progress on the many problems going in our school system. I am here to ask you not to extend Dr. McIntyre's contract for the following reasons. We want our children to learn problem solving, yet when faced with a large problem, the superintendent creates new positions, hires consulting firms, or calls for listening forums and committees that we see little, if any, results or action resulting in positive changes. Money is not being spent wisely in our schools. A new position for assessing assessments paid for with an illegally accepted grant and then continued as a large salaried position. 2 new positions in transportation after bus issues, one of which was for customer service, which should have already been someone's job before the massive complaints started. Consulting firms like Parthenon that propose changes that are not in the best interest of our students. And a push for technology. Yes, the state directed the testing be online, but they need to be the ones to pay for it. I am furious that schools paid for some of this technology out of coupon book money, and the superintendent has suggested that coupon book money could be used for technology upkeep in the future. My children are not going to be selling coupon books for technology when schools don't have enough money for supplies like paper towels and textbooks. And I know the goal for some is for every school to have one-to-one technology. But I think that goal is misguided. Just because everyone has to use technology doesn't mean it is the most effective way to learn. The importance placed on data is unacceptable. In the media, high scores are waved around like an Olympic medal, while low scores are downplayed by the superintendent. We have a number of schools that have dropped to a level 1, good schools with good teachers who are working their tails off to educate our students. We know these scores are not showing the true picture. But the teachers in these schools are under an immense amount of pressure to get these scores up. Their jobs are unfairly threatened by this score. I don't hear anyone saying we need to close these schools because of their score, but that is not how a teacher with a 1 is treated. It is a double standard that needs to stop. Once again, with the Tennessee Ready test, it's all about the scores. If it wasn't all about the scores, then I wouldn't have heard an administrator tell a group of parents and students that students need to be at school every day, even when they aren't feeling so well, so that they don't miss the skills that are being taught for the new assessment in February. And I wouldn't have heard an instructional coach tell parents that students begin in kindergarten learning the skills to prepare them for the ELA writing portion of Tennessee Ready. I'm guessing it was supposed to reassure me, but instead it increased my concern about the unrealistic expectations that will be placed on my 5-year-old next year. Thankfully, the Tennessee Ready scores will not be counted in kids' grades this year. However, at this point, it will still count in teacher evaluations. I urge the board to vote for Ms. Roundtree's resolution stating that these scores should not count in teacher evaluations this year. I am highly disappointed that the superintendent didn't propose it himself. For all the listening that the superintendent does, I don't see him stand with parents and teachers on important issues. Instead, we get pointed to the state or our local school as the cause, or are given explanations that really don't address the question asked. I see him attending a lot of school functions, but I often feel he is there to be seen more than to support. I ask you to vote no on the contract extension, for the parents who have lost faith and trust in this administration, for the teachers who have a gift and a calling to work with our children, but who struggle with staying in their job due to the pressures placed on them from this administration, for the large numbers of teachers who have either quit or retired in the last few years because while they loved teaching children, they could no longer endure the stress that was taking a toll on their health and their family. For the talented teachers who were unfairly non-renewed. For the children who are losing a love of learning because it's all about scoring well on a state test. For all the administrators, teachers, and students who feel that they are regarded as just a number when they are so much more. I understand that everybody wants to focus on the positive, but you cannot ignore the negative or it'll be too late and the negative will overtake the positive. The negative, you'll have a sinking ship before you know it, and I really think everybody needs to look at everything that's been brought up. Thank you.
Thank you.